morning friends and welcome to the pre-market session. We had a soft close for the US markets. Dow was down 62 points and even Nasdaq was down about 4 to 5 points. European markets were down about 1 to 1.5% as fresh concerns have emerged from Spain, and there the bond yields have shot up. Even the employment data was not encouraging. So that has led to some kind of a sell-off in the European markets. Back home, friends, we are seeing some kind of a steady up move, but the volumes are extremely poor because most of the markets are shut, like China. Even today Hang Seng and Taiwan are shut. So the overall activity level has actually come off, though we are seeing a good amount of activity in the individual stocks in the mid cap space. Friends, as far as flows go, we had a net buying of 332 crore from the FIIs yesterday, and the domestic institutions were also buyer to the tune of 200 crore. Friends, one concern that has emerged is that the bond yields have actually shot up to almost 8.72%, and in fact one of the borrowing plan which was there yesterday got devolved, and they had to actually close out at a yield of almost 8.81%, which means that the entire borrowing program of the government may not really go smoothly, and the expectations that people have that the yields going forward may come down actually doesn't look like materializing, at least at this point of time. On that note, let me invite Nandesh to take us through the F&O views and strategies. Hi Nandesh. Overall, it's been a lackluster session for the past few days, and we hear that a lot of call writing is happening on 54 and 5500 strike. So what have you made of that? Does it mean that the upside is capped at 54, 5500 levels?
See, not really. No, such kind of market we have seen for fresh financial year, and no market has been, you see, overall has been consolidating in the range. Like previously we have seen 5630 acted as a previous swing high. Then after that, again we made an attempt, 5450 was acting as a stiff resistance, and on a lower side, 5200, 150 acting as a very good support. So that is the reason always take place in such kind of market. Whenever we see high activity, call option writing will be there on a higher side and put option writing will be there on a lower side, unless until we won't give a clear breakout.
Also, is there any major open interest built up that you have seen, and is there anything one can conclude from that?
We have some very good observation from the derivative point of view. We have seen some 4 to 5 years previous data. Now, what we have observed, whenever open interest, Nifty open interest future side touches around 2 crore shares. I give you with an example. See, for instance, on 25 June to May 26 May 2006, open interest came down below 2 crore shares, and from there we have seen a correction of around 18%, and then we made a swing low of 2,595 levels in 14 June. So same thing, that's what happening in 29 September also. We flirted around 2 crore shares in December also. Again in the 3rd April, previously we have seen 2 crores 3 lakh shares in the open interest front. So on an average, whenever we have seen such kind of activity, market on an average tends to correct by 6 to 7%. So what I feel that we have seen that implied volatility has been cooling off significantly from the previous high. And your PCI ratio is increasing. Last month we were hovering around 1.04 on an average, and this time we have seen a significant rise in the put to call ratio as well. Okay. So I feel that overall bias is positive. We may see a momentum continuing up to 5,500 levels, but yeah, from those levels again we may see a correction of 6 to 7%. We might again lead to 5,200 levels.
Right, Nish. Is there anything specific in terms of strategy or recommendation that we could have for the traders? On the option side, what we have seen that on the put side particularly 5,200, 5,300, in fact all the strikes up to 5,600 levels has seen some additions. Now 5,200 stands with the highest number of shares in the open interest, 50 lakh shares almost, followed by 5,300. So I feel these are the very good support area, and I'm expecting that 5,400 call option has seen some reduction in the open interest front. 3 to 4 consecutive trading session we have seen some unwind
demanding on the future side as well. So I feel that 5400, 450 can target it in the medium term, and 5470 is a straddle value which might act as a hurdle. So around those levels, if I get an opportunity around say 5450, between 5500 levels, I'll be going short for the strategy front. We can form a bear put spread strategy. However, on the stock specific front, the metal sector, we have seen Sasagoa, particularly Hindalco, are the two counters which was continuously underperforming last month as well. So I feel that Hindalco has a potential. We have given a strategy buy call on the Hindalco, 140 call option buy and 150 call option sell, one lot. And if I get an opportunity to sell Hindalco 160 call option around say 50 paisa or 60 paisa, so I'll be converting those strategies to ratio call spread. So your risk will be minimum to 1 rupee spread into the lot size, and the profit potential can be around 18,000 rupees if the views goes right.
Right. So just to sum up, the strategy that we have recommended is that in case of Hindalco, we have recommended a bull call spread.
Bull call spread.
Right.
And we will be recommending, if I say Hindalco moves up to 136, 137 odd levels, and we'll be selling 160 call option, we'll be converting those strategy into the ratio call spread. So in that, my risk will be minimized and profit potential can may increase.
Right, Nandish, thanks a lot for that update.
Okay.
Just to conclude, friends, we had seen weakness in the US markets as there are indications coming from the Fed's minutes that there might not be a QE3, which was widely expected. And which is why we had seen some amount of weakness in the US markets yesterday, and even some of the Asian markets which are open are trading a little lower. Broadly, we feel that though it may not be a great news in terms of flows, but from our perspective, India's perspective, we think that this is definitely good, because if there is a mild recovery in the US and you don't have excessive dose of liquidity moving into different asset classes, it means that the commodities movement, where there is a lot of speculative action, actually would come to a halt, and that is definitely a good news, particularly the crude price, which has been worrying all of us. So we believe that though there might be a immediate short-term negative reaction, overall we think that this is definitely a positive news. In terms of other news, friends, in case of Coal India, finally the precedent legislation has been enacted. So it means that Coal India will have to enter into FSAs with some of the power companies, which is definitely a good news for the power sector as a whole, as we all know that for want of coal and its availability, the entire projects have been actually held up. So this could be a good positive news for companies like Adani Power, Lanco Infra, GVK and some of the equipment suppliers also like BGR Energy. So these are the stocks where we expect a good amount of action. Apart from that, friends, in case of pharma, we are expecting the GOM meet today to decide on the pricing part, which could have some amount of action for stocks like Ranbaxy and Sun Pharma. We have a positive bias on Sun Pharma. Even technically, we feel that the stock can actually give about 10 to 15% kind of a move. In terms of other news, BHEL came out with its numbers yesterday. Though on the net profit front, the company did much better than expectations. The order inflow was much lower at about 28,000 crore, which was down 63% YOY. So BHEL results were not good, but because of this Coal India development on the FSA, it could be good for power sector, so that might neutralize the impact of the bad numbers. Also, friends, yesterday we had a news that the government may clear FDI on the broadcast carriage services to 74% from 49% currently. So this could have positive repercussions for companies like NDTV, TV18 Group and Dish TV, because these are some of the companies where you will see some amount of buying interest. That's it from all of us, friends, on the news front. See you tomorrow at the same time.